Entitled mother insists that I give her kid my computer. So this was a while ago, but I've wanted to add it since I started. I'm a regular train rider, or at least I was when I was in high school. I would take the train from my hometown to the city of my grandparents that they lived in every long weekend or holiday, so I had the routine down to a T. Delays were common, but that was part of the experience. On long rides like this and noticing kids getting restless, I would let them watch a movie or draw on the Paint app with my computer. This ride was different though. This entitled mother was another semi-regular and had a habit of verbally abusing the attendants. She sat across from me this ride, and the entire time her son was being a disruption, and I tried my best to ignore him since the entitled mom did nothing to settle him down. Like I said, I'd usually offer to help out by providing a distraction, but frankly, the son was destructive and I didn't trust them. I also happened to be having a stroke of creative genius and was working on a musical, getting more done in hours than I had in months. Unfortunately, at one point, she made eye contact with me and motioned for me to take my earbuds out. I did, and I still don't fully understand the conversation that followed. Do you think that my son could watch a movie on your computer? I can't get him to calm down. She haven't even tried yet, but okay. Sorry, maybe in a bit, but I'm working right now. You've done it for other kids. I know, but I wasn't doing work then. If you're okay waiting, your son can use it later, but just not right now. She grumbled a bit about me being a lying teenager and then turned back to her phone. And after a while, the son kept coming to ask if he could use it yet, and the mom said that he could. He kept coming and I kept saying no, and he kept being a little brat the rest of the time he wasn't pestering me. And eventually the mom tapped me on the shoulder. Yes? He needs to use your computer. I cannot deal with him anymore. Honestly, I don't want to let him use it at all now. You guys keep bothering me and distracting me from my work. It's summer. You don't have any work. You don't know that. What do you think I've been doing since you guys got on? Working. I'm doing something important and you won't back off. I'll tell you if your son can use it when I'm ready to let him. You can do it later. No, I can't. Would it kill you to let him use it? Yeah, if I let him use it now, it would. Just wait. The mom, once again disgruntled, turned back to her seat and travel companion and started to talk crap about me again. Eventually, writer's block hit me, so I shut down the writing programs and moved my bag under the seat and offered to let him watch a movie. Apparently, I committed 2 crimes at this point. Despicable Me was not good enough, and the mom insisted that the son bring the computer into their seating area. And that was when my patience was through. What do you think you're doing? Letting your son watch a movie? I don't want to watch Despicable Me. No, he needs to sit with us. She let him run around between cars unattended all day, but okay. I mean, you're right, you can still watch him, and I only have a few kids' movies, and I thought it was better than Frozen or The Little Mermaid. I have a younger sister who likes princesses. He sighed and started watching, but the mom stood there and grabbed my computer off the tray in front of the son and I. I was livid and snatched my computer back. He has to sit with us. Not with my computer, he doesn't. As she was cussing me out, I grabbed my bag and left to the window car. The amount of light gave me a headache, but I just vented the attendant, who I knew well, and they vented back to me about her crappy behavior. He gave me a free hot chocolate, and I tipped him $40 because I only had to deal with her for half the journey, and he would have to deal with it for the rest of the long day. Apparently, she got banned a few months later for hitting one of the attendants after an 8-hour delay. It's the people like this that kind of forgot the whole English language because, you know, there is a very big difference between my computer and our computer. I don't have to let you use my computer. Seriously though, I don't know what they expected to happen when they snatched the computer off your desk, as if you were gonna be like, oh yeah, no, it's totally cool. I don't need my laptop. You go ahead and take it. My goodness gracious. Sometimes you try to be nice and a Karen just makes you regret it. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today we're going to be going over some stories from the r/entitled parents subreddit. I know you guys really tend to enjoy them. I like making it, so I figured it'd be a good video. So without further ado, let's go. Entitled mom was gone for 18 years and then came back and complained because I wasn't going to give her royalties. So this is insane, and I get that some won't actually believe me, and honestly, it's hard to believe at times myself due to the pure hate this woman has for me. My parents have always been my stepmother and my dad. They didn't tell me about Karen being my birth mother, and honestly, after everything that's happened, I kind of know why. My birth mother is a horrible, lying manipulator. My mom tried to adopt me so I wouldn't get caught up in the senseless feud, but she refused to give over her parental rights, even though she left when I was 5 months old and never tried to contact me. My 18th birthday rolled around and I got a message from her. I didn't know who it was, so I asked my parents, and after a heated argument, they told me, and I ended up being allowed to go meet her in a different state. I go to meet her and my 2 youngest sisters, and unfortunately, my eldest 2 sisters couldn't come. The first thing she said upon meeting me was, "You look like your grandma," and I hated her. and that started off a roller coaster 6 years. I found out that she told everyone I died when I was a baby, and she told my sister some pretty horrible things that weren't true about my character, and convinced my great-grandma who had Alzheimer's I stole money from her. She also went as far as claiming she never wanted me and I shouldn't have existed when I visited. It wasn't like she didn't want me there, even though she was the one that demanded I come over. There's so many things she did, and a huge one was stealing things that were meant for me that my late uncle left. Well, I decided I'd pray for her and just hope she finds happiness so she didn't do this anymore, and I blocked her from my Facebook on everything, and she just didn't exist in my book anymore. Jump forward to last year, because I have been working on writing this novel for a long time. It was a fantasy novel I'd been planning for over a decade, and I'm finally making progress on it. I do talk to some of the elders in my family, because it's a huge Arab Greek Orthodox family hell-bent on keeping it together, and they accept me and want me around, and a few cousins who I thought didn't talk to her. A lot of the older family have her on Facebook, but they don't really talk to her and made me a promise they won't tell her about me. Anyways, I guess my cousin told her I was writing a book, and I was dead set on sending it into publishers or publishing it myself by the end of the year. She said, "Oh really? That's interesting." My cousin, who's never actually thought about it, told Karen thinking it wouldn't harm anything. He came to me and said he may have made a mistake and to be careful about replying, and the next day I received a message from my sister that I should unblock Karen because something bad happened. Not really connecting the two, I unblocked her, and she messaged me saying that, "Since you stole your grandma's money, I'm going to sue you from every penny you get from that book." I told her that she needed proof of an accusation and I didn't steal anything, and to be honest, I don't even know where you got the idea from, but I wouldn't do that. I was taught better than that. And she replied, "Yes, you did, and I'm going to make sure to get it back." Karen, she passed away, and I have nothing to do with the missing money if there was any. Plus, how are you going to sue me for a book I have yet to publish that'll be under a pseudonym anyways? Are you just gonna randomly sue me? I'm unsure where you think I have the money, seeing as I'm on disability. I mean, why don't you use the money you stole from my trust fund Grandpa set up for me? I have proof that you're a liar and a cheat. You're not disabled. Plus, I have no idea what you're talking about with a trust fund. Grandpa told Dad and Uncle Danny about the fact Grandpa set aside one for each of us and made you the beneficiary in our stead. That's a lie. You know, I've left you alone. According to you, I don't exist. I never tried to use you on college applications. I never included you in my memorable moments because you demanded I act like you don't exist. So you can take my trust fund and your fake memories and go away because you never are gonna see a dime. You owe me. I'm your mother. You should have been arrested. It's not like anyone really wants you. What? You were never my daughter, nor were you my friend until you realized that you don't talk to me. I really don't understand. You told me these things. You're right. You're not my mother. So, deuces. I haven't heard from Karen since, so maybe that taught her. I don't know. I just feel bad she has so much hate for someone who's her flesh and bones. Guess you shouldn't have kicked your kid away who loves to write. That may be your downfall. But, like I tell my friends, your words and actions can be used in one of my books, and it may not be to glorify you. Bro, this doesn't even sound like this person actually exists. This sounds like basically the real life equivalent of a James Bond villain, you know, just pretending your kid doesn't exist, finding out they're writing a book, so you just start making up stuff to sue them and steal all the money. My goodness, that level of mental gymnastics almost deserves a gold medal. Kudos to you for dealing with all that. Sorry you had to go through it. Your mom sounds crazy. I also love that she wants royalties just because she's your mom. I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. Otherwise, like every famous YouTuber's parents would be taking half the rev. My mother decided my inheritance won't pay for my college after I told her she should get a VPN. My mother bought an Android TV box that can stream any news show or movie for free, which I told her was technically illegal, and her response was, streaming isn't illegal because we're downloading the content. I said alright and left it, and it turns out our ISP isn't too keen on this and throttles our whole networks to unbearable speeds when it's in use. However, the box will hog all the throttled bandwidth, so the movie will stream, but every other device just gets kicked off our network. When I told my mom about this, or asked them to pause it for a bit so I can get work done, the response is always, I pay for the internet and it's working, so you can deal with not having internet while I'm watching TV. I've been dealing with this for 2 weeks now. I was disqualified from 2 job interview technical tests and had to plead to retake a midterm with my professor. And I often get booted when I'm on a call with my girlfriend who's long distance going to school and we only get 2 or 3 hours to talk a day. When they left for a bit, I did some troubleshooting and found out a VPN fixes this problem. So when they came back, I told her that a VPN fixed it and they should use one since all the activities are illegal. It'll also help keep their information safe, and her response unsurprisingly was, I bought the box to stop paying for subscriptions. I'm not going to pay for something when the TV works fine. You can live without internet. I thought she'd at least be reasonable, and I was going to offer to pay for half of the yearly subscription to ExpressVPN, which is $100 a year. But instead, I was just kind of shocked and I left. And shortly after, she came to me and told me that I should just pay for it because I'm the one using it anyways, and I told her that's not how it works. I wouldn't be using it, but I'd split the cost, and she didn't like that answer and started going off. You're 22 and you don't pay for anything. You should at least pay for rent and to use our internet. Now, I know that statement doesn't sound too bad, Reddit, and I agree it's taken out of context, it's probably fine, but here's some background context. My parents told me I can live rent-free till I graduate, which led to me going to the local university to save money, to not have to pay for room and board. And my tuition, on the other hand, is barely covered through a small sum of money my grandfather left me when he passed. The account holder's name is my mother's, and if that doesn't cover my tuition, I'd have to pay it out of pocket. My brother, on the other hand, moved out to college, and his financials are a different story. My mom pays for his tuition, room and board, and groceries, so he doesn't have to work while he goes to school. The tuition and room and board for him are 3 times what my tuition alone costs, but she pays it without batting an eye. Anyways, back to the story. My mom continued going off, telling me that now I have to pay rent, and it'll be $1,200 a month, and I have to pay for the VPN to use the internet, and also I'll be paying for the internet since you're the only one who uses it anyways. And finished his offer list of demands stating that also the trust won't be covering your tuition, so you need to pay back the 26 grand that it's paid so far. I was silent and just left and broke down in tears when I got to my car and started driving. I haven't talked to her since and am fuming that she would hold my inheritance ransom. I have 2 months till I graduate and I was planning to just yeet it out of here the day I do, but every month it's something else that's my fault and I have to pay for. Started off with groceries, and now I buy half the groceries and make dinner for me and my 4 parents 4 days a week because you should start making us dinner since you'll learn how to cook. When I got a tax refund, she made me hand her half of it because I did your taxes, so I deserve the refund. I didn't ask her to do it. I just came home from work one day and she had already filed it. Same thing with the stimulus checks. You shouldn't have gotten the stimulus checks. It should be mine since I'm your mother. After they didn't qualify because their income was too much. Me and my father are going to see a show tonight and he sees the stark contrast in the way she treats me with my brother and has even told me, I know she treats you differently than everyone else and you just need to not cause a ruckus or stir up anything with your mother and leave when you graduate. But he won't actually stand up to her or oppose her on anything, so whatever she says goes. I mean, the paying rent thing, you are 22. That being said, it's nuts that she's perfectly fine paying for your brother's college room and board, but is gonna retroactively remove your inheritance. Goodness gracious, bro. It's like, okay, I would have never taken out $26,000 in classes if I knew you were just gonna take away all the inheritance and make me pay for it. I don't understand why your mom's got so much beef with you and nobody else in your family, dude, but that's just mad unfortunate. I think your best bet is to get out as fast as humanly possible. Entitled Mom gets mad at me because I didn't want to give her my lunch. This happened around an hour ago and I thought the ordeal was hilarious, so I'm gonna share it here so we can all laugh too. I was at the store that's Kroger owned and I get my first stop to get some lunch for myself. They usually have a wing bar with some plexiglass covering it because my state is still a little hot with the virus going around, but my town is safe. I wasn't really paying attention to my surroundings as honestly the place was busy and I was focused on getting my stuff and getting out like I normally do. Here is where the entitled mother and her kid enters the scene right behind me. She taps me on the shoulder aggressively as I finish putting the lid on my little bowl of meat and looked at me like she was in her late 40s and her kid behind her and just on her phone. The kid looked about 10, but I can't really be sure because it's just a kid. Hey, my daughter wants your wings. Hand them over. And at this point, she just stuck her hands out with a scowl. I'm guessing she was expecting me to just say, oh, sure, why not? No, I'm about to move out of your way anyways, and there's plenty to go around. Excuse me? I said give them to me now. She actually kind of screamed now like it was an order. As I said, I'm about to get out of your way so you can do it yourself. Now, if you'll excuse me. The mom looked enraged at the fact I wasn't about to do as she demanded and actually moved her cart in front of me. I wasn't using one since I wasn't getting much anyways. Then said, if you don't listen to me, I will get a manager here and get you banned. Don't you know who I am? Now give me your food. My child is hungry. And she pointed at her kid. And the kid looked like he just wanted to melt on the floor in embarrassment and said, Mom, it's fine. Let's just go. Luckily, someone heard the commotion and walked up to the mother and was about to ask if everything was all right when she started going off on him saying I stole her food and she wanted me arrested. He laughed and said, I'll take care of it, just finish your shopping. And so I left. I don't know what happened at the end, but honestly, the whole thing made me laugh, and hopefully the kid won't end up like its mother. Why could she not get her own wings? I'm just really not understanding why she really needed yours. If anything, I'd be like, I don't want food that a stranger has just kind of scooped into their bowl. I'll get my own. I just don't understand why you would ever do this. This is the equivalent of waiting in line at McDonald's, hearing somebody order in front of you, and when they get their food, being like, I could get my own, but you're gonna give me yours because I'm hungry now. Like, dude, literally wait 15 seconds and order your own thing. Angry father gets upset that we closed our stand and opens the employee-only door just to yell at us. So allow me to set the stage for you and give a little context. My family does this thing called work camping. Essentially, it's when you travel to different places taking up jobs that only last a few months. It's great because by the time our family is tired of the jobs, it's time to leave for the next one, and we've been going to this amusement park every summer for 4 years, and last year I was finally old enough to work there. At the time, I was 14 years old, and this place mainly hired teenagers and retired people because high schoolers and old folks are the ones most willing to do the work. Last year, I chose to work in the food department like the rest of my family, and as I'm sure most of you know, amusement parks have multiple food stands that we usually get passed around to. My usual food stand was the funnel cake stand, and I was there pretty much every day. The funnel cake stand was connected to a barbecue stand that had a huge window where funnel cake fryers were next to fryers, which was in the back, and there was a door for employees to get in and out of the stand. So on this particular day, I was in the funnel cake half of the stand, and I had 3 people in the stand with me. Megan on the fryers making funnel cakes, Jenny, who was a server essentially helping out both the barbecue and funnel half to make and decorate stuff, and Jordan, who was running the barbecue register, and me on the funnel cake register. So normally, except on weekends, the park closed at 5 or 6 o'clock, and on this day it was 6. For the record, I'd been working 8 hours and was exhausted and ready to pack that crap up and head home. The others had worked similar hours, and now the amazing thing about working in an amusement park is that it will always be somebody who wants their last-minute snacks 5-10 minutes before closing. And every time without fail it would happen. And of course, today was one of the days. Once we finished up our last order and gave out our last few funnel cakes, the clock hit 6 and Jordan did not hesitate to walk outside and shut that window. As Jordan was shutting the window, entitled dad, entitled mom, and their 2 kids were walking up to the stand. Mind you, the section of the park was pretty much empty at this point as everyone had started leaving like they were supposed to. And according to Jordan, the dad called him an a-hole or something along those lines as he was walking towards the back where the door was to re-enter the stand. Apparently, us having the audacity to close the stand at closing time tipped this douche canoe over the edge. Little did our poor, tired teenage selves know we were about to ensue a bunch of crap. Jordan walked back in and is telling us about what happened when suddenly we see the entitled dad making his way to the back where the employees only door is, and we're all watching him wondering what he's gonna do. And I figured he was gonna knock on the door and try to get us to open it. Boy howdy was I incorrect. This guy opens the door and starts yelling at us over this. The following dialogue's not verbatim because it took place last summer and I can't remember it well, but basically, "Why did you do that? We wanted funnel cake for our kids." Either Jenny or Megan replied, "It's closing time and we're out of funnel cake anyways." "You could have just given us the scraps and we would have been on our way." I know for a fact that that statement was crap. If we had done that, he would have just given us crap over making him pay $6.30 for funnel cake scraps. He then proceeded to fuss at us for a bit longer until finally his wife, who was just standing there the entire time giving us looks, finally told him, "Let's go," and they left. He closed the door and immediately Jordan began busting his balls laughing. He didn't even give him a chance to get out of hearing distance. All 4 of us were silent the entire time we were being yelled at, but after he shut the door, we just bagged on the guy nonstop. I was absolutely dumbfounded by the audacity of this dude. He opened up an employee-only door and yelled at a bunch of tired, hot teenagers who just wanted to clean up and go home over a bunch of funnel cake. Moral of the story, if you want amusement park snacks, get them during the day or at least 30 minutes before closing, because the tired, sweaty, over it teenagers don't appreciate you coming at them 5 or 10 minutes before closing and will not hesitate to shut the window when the clock strikes closing time. I just don't understand what he expected. I mean, sure, I'm sure it'd be annoying to be walking towards the stand and see it close, but if you look at your watch and it's closing time, at a certain point you gotta go, that's kind of on me. I don't know why people who had just worked 8-hour shifts and don't want to be there anymore are gonna magically fire back up the funnel cake just so you can get one. I don't know, man. I feel like people go on vacation and they just kind of forget that everyone else is working and not on vacation with them. And they're like, oh, you don't want to make me funnel cake? It's like, dude, I've been making funnel cake for 8 hours. I'm off. Grandma changes my mom's birthday plans. This story is about my grandma and my mom's birthday. My mom's birthday falls on a Saturday this year and her sister's coming into town. And my mom really wanted to go to a nice Italian restaurant for her birthday dinner and everyone agreed. Well, after we had planned it, my grandmother called my mom and told her that they're booking a dinner at some old mediocre restaurant and the dinner was at 6. Happy birthday. My mom tried to tell them she had plans to go somewhere else and my grandparents ended up telling her, well, we don't want to go to that place. We might not like it. And this place is really good. I've been there. It's not. My mother, who dealt with this all her life, knows that she won't be able to change their mind, so she agreed to go, and we ended up moving our other plans the night before her birthday, and she had to pick up her sister from the airport afterwards. My mother wasn't entirely happy, especially since my uncle's girlfriend will be there, but at least my grandparents will pay for my mom's dinner, so it's not a total waste. I'm just kind of shocked your mom agreed to switch the plans. I would have been like, that's awesome. You guys have fun at that restaurant. I'm going to the one I want to go to. You know, I understand that, like, they might not want to go, but it's not their birthday. If it's grandma's birthday, you go to grandma's restaurant. If it's your mom's birthday, you go to your mom's restaurant. I feel like that's just kind of how it's supposed to work. I didn't realize that most families didn't have that formula. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I'd appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought, and of course, subscribe if you're new. You can use code Scrubby at the G Fuel checkout if you really want to help me out, and I do post the audio versions of these on Spotify. Link in the description down below if you want to listen without gameplay, whatever floats your boat. Check it out. And yeah, on that note, that'll do it for another Entitled Parents video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see each and every single one of you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.